Several years of therapy, 7 different medications, countless sleepless nights. I did everything they told me to do. Every doctor's order, every pill. I followed the system, hoping it would silence the war inside my head. But no matter how many bottles I opened, the battle never stopped. For years, they told me this was as good as it gets, a chemical truce with my own mind. The VA told me, let's just up the dosage. But they were wrong. I wasn't resistant to treatment. I was resistant to the wrong kind of healing. I felt more like a ghost than a person, a numb spectator in my own life. I was watching life pass me by. And then came the moment that terrified me most. The pills stopped working. They just made me numb to everything emotional. This isn't a story about hating medicine. And yeah, for a season, those pills were my lifeline. This is a story about what happens when that lifeline runs out. It's about wounds that no prescription can touch, soul wounds. And it's about the ancient path back to wholeness. Hey, if you're a combat veteran and anyone who's tried everything the medical system offers, but you're still fighting battles in your mind, this message could change everything. Hey, hit that subscribe button if you're ready for honest conversations about faith, trauma, and real healing. The war didn't start with bombs going off in my head. It crept in quiet. It was a slow dimming of the lights. Anxiety buzzing under my skin like a live wire. Sadness with no name, just a heavy weight smothering any spark of joy. I served in Desert Storm. We came back to a hero's welcome, but inside, I was dying. The nightmares, the hypervigilance, the rage that came out of nowhere. Does that sound familiar? I did what men are told to do. Be brave. Admit you need help. Go see a doctor. But not really. My wife made me go to the VA. I walked out with the diagnosis and a prescription. The VA did what they do. They diagnosed me with PTSD and handed me a prescription. And for a while, there was relief. The noise turned down. The world, I felt softer. I became a model patient. I never missed a dose. They adjusted the meds, swapped one for another, added more to fight the side effects. I was on a pharmaceutical carousel chasing normal. I became a walking pharmacy, but I was still a broken man. But what started as relief slowly turned into something worse. The absence of crushing anxiety was replaced by an unnerving absence of everything. No passion, no belly laughs, no tears. My emotional world, once a turbulent sea, had become a flat, gray, waveless ocean. I was staring at my life through thick glasses, unable to reach it. I was functional, but I was a ghost at the feast of my own life. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Stable on paper, empty in your soul. You function, but you're not alive. They told me I had a chemical imbalance, like I was just permanently broken. The message was clear: stay on the meds or fall apart. Every time I tried to taper, the withdrawals hit. Brain fog got worse, anger, nausea. The doctors called it relapse, proof that I needed the medication. I called it prison. It was a chemical prison, and my well-meaning doctors were the wardens. Rock bottom wasn't some big crash. It was slow suffocation. It was the realization that the life I was living was a hollow copy of the one I craved. I remember one night hanging out with friends at church. Friends laughing hard at some story. I smiled, even laughed out loud, but inside, dead silence. I felt nothing. It was a performance. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't just disconnected from people, I was disconnected from myself. Later that night, staring in the mirror, I didn't recognize the guy looking back. No lifeless eyes, no spark. It hit me. The war, it wasn't over. The pills had just changed the battlefield. The medication had become the new enemy. That's rock bottom when the treatment feels worse than the disease. It's when the agony of staying the same finally becomes greater than the fear of the unknown. I knew I would rather face the storm of raw, unfiltered emotions than die slowly in that gray fog. So here's what the medical system missed. We're not just biological machines that need a chemical adjustment. We are spirit, soul, and body. I realized we were trying to heal a spiritual wound with earthly medicine. The pills could tweak my brain, but they couldn't touch my soul wound. They couldn't heal the moral injury that shattering of your deepest beliefs about right and wrong that happens in combat. They couldn't restore the sense of meaning or my fractured self worth. You can medicate the brain, but only God can heal the soul. You can treat symptoms, but only faith can restore purpose. The medical model asks, what's wrong with you? Faith asks, what's happened to you? And how can God redeem it? This time, it wasn't about stopping medication. It was about starting something deeper. It was a leap of faith, not in a system, but in the possibility that healing existed beyond the bottle. So what changed? I gave up, not on life, but on the fight. I stopped trying to silence my pain and started listening to it, asking what it was trying to teach me. This opened a door to a path older than modern medicine. I realized my mental health and my spiritual health were tied together. My depression wasn't just about chemicals, it was about spiritual starvation, my soul starving for meaning, connection, and God. With the help of a course I discovered, Emotionally Healthy Spirituality, I was able to kickstart my journey back. It started with a few key practices. One was meditation and breath work. I started small, just sitting in silence, focusing on my breath. At first, it was torture, but I learned meditation isn't emptying your mind, it's anchoring it. Every inhale pulled me out of the chaos. Every exhale grounded me in the present. For the first time in years, I felt control without a pill. Then there's gratitude. I discovered the transformative power of real, gritty gratitude. I started writing down the smallest things, the sun on my face, the taste of coffee. Slowly, my brain started noticing good again. Then I found community. I found a small circle of people on the same journey. The church connected me with other warriors fighting the same spiritual battles. There was no shame, no mask, just honest conversations about soul wounds. That brotherhood became medicine no doctor could prescribe. Healing isn't a solo mission. You can't heal in isolation. And then there's faith. When medicine failed, faith didn't. When pills couldn't quiet the storm, prayer could. I started to rebuild my relationship with God, not religion, not rules, relationship, honest prayers, honest anger, honest hope. I discovered a peace that didn't erase the pain, but gave it purpose. Therapy helped me cope with my past. Faith gave me a mission for my future. Faith gave me three things that medicine never could. The first one, identity. Medicine told me I was a patient, a diagnosis, a disability rating. Faith told me I was a warrior, wounded but not defeated. My scars weren't signs of shame, they were my credentials. The second thing it gave me was purpose. The VA handed me a disability retirement that felt like a death sentence. Faith gave me a second assignment. My deepest wounds became my most powerful leadership assets. And then there's community. It connected me with a brotherhood of warriors, not a group of patients. The night I fully surrendered my PTSD to God, not just managing it, but giving it to Him, that's when real healing began. So let me ask you, have you ever felt that difference between managing symptoms and actually healing. Drop your story in the comments. Your story might be the spark of hope that another person needs. Healing didn't happen overnight. It was daily, gritty work. If you're lost, wondering where to start, here's what helped me. First, start with brutal honesty. This is the belt of truth. You got to stop pretending you're fine. You got to find a quiet place and say it out loud. God, I am not okay. I'm bleeding out. I can't do this alone. Don't filter your prayers to God. Let him love the raw version of you. Dedicate 5 minutes every morning. Before the phone, before the noise, just sit still. Sometimes breathing. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Sometimes it's scripture. Read Psalms like Psalms 34 or 46. They give us permission to be raw. David was raw. Sometimes just speaking affirmation like, I am worthy of healing. And if you need a resource to help kickstart your morning, hit me up in the comments and I'll share it with you. The next thing, number 3, get into nature. Spend intentional time outside, walking in silence. Don't wear earbuds. Just walk in silence. Don't listen to anything. You feel the ground under your feet. This has a powerful calming effect on the nervous system, and it reminds you that you're part of something bigger. Number 4, find one brother. Find one brother that you can share things with, because healing happens in community. You're not meant to heal in isolation. Reach out to one trusted friend, mentor, or pastor. Tell them you're not okay, and don't fight alone. Yes, I tapered off my medicine slowly and with professional guidance, but these spiritual practices were the scaffolding that held me up when the withdrawal tried to break me. I was no longer a passive victim of my symptoms. I was an active participant in my own healing. Life without pills, guess what? It's not perfect. Life without pills, it's not perfect. I still have rough days. But here's the difference. I feel those rough days now, and I'm not afraid of them. Pain isn't proof that I'm broken. It's proof that I'm alive. I've got my laughter back, my tears back. Yes, I cry a lot now. I got my passion back. I got my soul back. My suffering wasn't wasted. It forced me to find a deeper healing. It led me to the ancient truth that true wellness involves the mind, the body, and the spirit. If you're in the gray fog right now, feeling numb and disconnected, hear me. This isn't the end of your story. Healing is real. And maybe it's time to try the one thing the VA can't prescribe: faith. Hey, if this hits home, subscribe and join this brotherhood. If you know a veteran or anyone who needs to hear this, share this video. Let's build a community where scars are sacred. In the description below, you can find all the links to the community, to my Patreon. If you need to make a comment that says, hey, I need help, I'll DM you and we'll figure out a way to connect. Remember, you're not disqualified. You're just redeployed.